like he's Santa Claus drinking from that bottle.
Welcome back to another episode of StoppageTime TV. We're live in the flesh, live and direct in the flesh. You already know what time it is. Got FTBL to my right. You already know where it is. Got CultureCams to my left. Let's production the cut somewhere. Before we go any further, please. I know there's been a bit of confusion in the comment section. We're not trying to be superstars. We're actually trying to sort stuff out so you can have a show that looks and sounds right. You get me? And obviously, if you guys were, you guys can watch the title lift and watch us at the same time, but we have to take it in to then...
We have to see if that lift is dead.
Exactly.
That's important.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You have to grade it.
Why we had to, bro? You know, like in the Met Gala, you
analyze
grant
the
the drip.
Yeah.
We want to see the title lift every year.
You get me?
It's the time you got to see who's done the best lift. Gundogan's.
I'm not too sure.
You're my boy, but
I could do some work.
I can tell it's his first time.
Yeah, in the runners as well. Come on, man. Come dressed appropriately. Put your boots on, lad.
Bro, I gotta hear the clicking.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Clicking.
Exactly. I might put Hendo Shuffle above that one for sure.
The Hendo Shuffle.
Nah, Hendo Shuffle for me is up there. I
Up
can't
there
lie
with
to
what?
you.
Up there with what?
What,
The
you don't like
greatest.
Hendo Shuffle?
The
I
greatest.
think the Hendo Shuffle, it's a trademark.
I like the Champions League one.
a trademark.
The one behind
Premier
closed
League.
doors.
When they do the
That was
the
mid.
Champions League one, when they do with all the fire, I was like, that's a
Shuffle was
when
lit.
Sky do that slow mo, that's a cold
And there's
one.
been some good ones.
Because
Companies
they don't
was
like
good, to be
Hendo.
fair. Yeah, Companies did in the 2011 one. That was good. JT's first one was good as well. I'll be honest.
Epic.
Yeah.
Epic.
I mean, we've had so many.
JT Frank one was cold as well.
Yeah, that was alright.
What was United's best one?
Obviously, I just got to give it to when Fergie lifted it. You know what I mean?
That was
Nah, I can't lie, that was a cold
Fergie
one.
and
That was
Giggs.
a-
Fergie and Giggs, man. That's iconic, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's Man United through and through. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen, man.
yeah.
But as we were saying, that's why we took a bit of time. But without further ado, make sure you like, share, subscribe, have your notifications on. We did the Shaun Wright-Phillips interview. Of course, City have just been crowned champions. That is someone that's won the Premier League. That is a City icon. So go and run that back as well. Go and run that back for sure. Make sure you run that back. But listen, man, you already know what time it is. As is custom around here, we watch football every weekend. And, two teams play and one team might win. So if your team managed to win, you collected 3 points. Unless you're playing cup competition, one's a playoff. So if that was you, hold tight the 3-point collectors.
Big 3 points collected this week as well.
Real talk, man. Hold tight the 3-point collectors. Hold tight the champions. Hold tight the European qualifiers as well.
Survivalists.
Hold tight the survivors. Hold tight the promoted survivors. Hold tight the participants as well. Obviously, you man did your thing. Hold tight the triers, innit?
Man said the triers. Get into the episode. Ain't the participants the same as the triers?
No. It's not.
Host, please host.
It's not.
Oh, isn't it? Please host.
It's not. Arsenal are triers. They're not participants. They won't
Hey.
participate in the title charge. We tried.
Ew,
But
don't
let's
kill
go.
me.
City, man. 3 in a row. 3 in a row. 5 in 6 seasons. The only team to stop the blue moon was Liverpool. I think there's only been 2 occasions in Pep's career that he's not won a title.
No,
Three.
4 occasions, I think. I think he's won 11 of his 15.
The first year,
That's possible, right?
First year they finished
first year,
third.
he won them all at Bayern, and in his first year at City.
Real Madrid won it for Barcelona.
One, so
yes,
it's 3.
yes.
So it's 3.
3,
So
yeah.
it's the one that...
So 12 out of 15. Is
Yeah.
what I was saying. 12
That's
out of 15.
And I think he averages around 92 points.
The lowest he's finished is 3rd, and that was his first season with City.
That's what Fergie did, though. Fergie never finished below 3rd, just putting it out there, people, as well, you know what I mean? Because people seem to think that football only existed since 2009, you know what I mean? But, hey, you know what I mean?
It's the definition of what you would call a football juggernaut, though. Like someone who, in that 15 years, like not just this year, but in that 15 years has been stamping his mark everywhere he's gone. Barcelona, we all say that team pretty much is one of the best teams, arguably, of all time. Then that Bayern team, he pretty much carried on what they were doing, and then since then they've been trying to replicate what he's been doing since he's come City. Bro,
They won Champions League, don't forget that.
they ain't won the Champions League,
Before
but
and
they've
after.
done everything but that, and this year they're in the final, so what better way to change it? It's like, no matter where he goes, this guy seems to make a difference. But I think this season, I've I was saying at the start of the season, if he does turn around and win this year, for me, I think of all the City titles I've seen him win, for me, this is the most impressive one. Purely because of, the Arsenal team that were at the start of the season, because we have to give them credit. They were incredible. They were leading the charge. They were looking like the favourite.
But did they?
No, but hear this. And even you,
They got
Leos, were
Burnley,
all here saying like, yo, champions elect, we have to crown them. They're the favourites. We can't turn on all. It was almost disrespectful at one point if you didn't say Arsenal were the favourites. But for Pep to go through everything he went through this year, whether it was figuring out how to fit in Haaland, whether it was getting the players to be motivated, because first half of the season they were all not at the levels. Gundogan, Foden, KDB, none of those guys were delivering except for Haaland. For him to get that back up to level, for him to get the defence right, for him to tweak certain things within the tactics, get over the Champions League hurdles that he's done this year. Now you're in a position to win a treble. I'm like, bro, this guy, it's almost like every time you think he can't go up a level, he shows you, nah, I've got another gear in me.
I think what stands out for me this season, and it's stuff we've seen recently. Arsenal credit for 93% of the season being in that position. I know some people say like whatever, but credit for being there. City bopped them 4-1. I'm like, all right, cool. Domestically, all right. Madrid, you bopped 4-0 at home. Sorry, so you guys are just whoever it is.
Bayern Munich
were bopping. Bayern Munich get bopped. Whoever it is, they are bopping them, and it just shows where. With the Liverpool season, we were saying that Liverpool had to be perfect to get there. And we thought, okay, we see it tired and it's going to fall off a little bit. We have conversations, whole time 360, when he was saying that he feels like they've dropped off a little bit. But even if we're saying they've dropped off a bit, for them to still be that formidable, it's impressive.
I think it's one of his best shots we've spoken about in terms of like tactically and stuff, and having to like try find a way to motivate the team and re-innovate them in the middle of the season. I can hear that, but I feel like every single season there's something you can say that Pep has done which is super impressive. You think about Centurions, you think about the Formidables or whatever, you think about winning the title with a false 9. So there's always something where I feel like every year you can say this was the year. I think this year's mad, but I will always say Centurions was amazing, but I will always say that 18-19 Man City for me is their most impressive title. Bro, there's a team. How is it possible for a team to have 97 points and not win the league? How? Like, let's keep it 100. Like the 17-18, they had 100 points. Man United had 81. This season, they just won the league with 85 points. As much as Arsenal have done really well this season, 92% of the season they were leading. Arsenal in the end kind of just said, hey, go have the title, mate. You know what I mean? Go 3-peat if you guys want. That Liverpool team refused. What was it? City won 16 in a row. Liverpool won 14 in a row. I can't even remember what the numbers were. It was just like every single week we're going to win. And the showdown pretty much was when it was against each other. Leroy Sané delivered. They went on to go and win the league. But I just don't think you will see. Well, you can probably see. But in terms of title races and how good you have to be to go and win the league, you can't look past that season. Especially, was that the same season they did the domestic treble as well?
Do you know what was...
Damn!
Do you know what we're speaking to, though? I feel like when you look at City, and we have this conversation all the time here, when you look at City, when you look at top players, whatever it is, there comes this moment where greatness has been achieved. Therefore, any other greatness is not scrutinized, but we're looking at what more can we get from that. We're talking about Centurions. We're talking about how many goals scored. We're talking about so many different ways that Manchester City have managed to wow us. And now in this moment, they've done something which is different for them. Changing the formation. We're going to see teams across the line try and play 3 centre-backs and no full-backs anymore. But because it's not of the magnitude of what we've seen before, it's kind of like, okay. But if they win the treble, I know it's not just the Premier League, but if they win the treble, that's the next thing for them. And that's why we always talk about how important the Champions League is for this team. This year, more than ever, it's super important because it's the next missing puzzle piece to say we've gone even further than we went last time. When Shaun Wright-Phillips came on, he was saying that the hardest thing is when you've done everything to go again. This is the one thing that will be keeping them going. Like, yeah, the Premier League, okay, cool, but you can win a treble. You can win a treble. You can finish all the conversations about you, and I think that's why I respect it so much, because even in the moments that I would expect to be tense, they've gone and they've slapped teams up. And today, I mean, Chelsea, we're not anything special at the moment, but you're playing a bench side.
Yep.
And you're still looking at this team and you're thinking, everyone's locked in. Everyone understands. Everyone's ready for the war. What I now think is, if they are to that treble, I wonder what happens after that. Because it's like, is that everything complete?
Hopefully, what happens after that is Pep says I'm bored and
Yeah,
says, all right.
you know what I'm saying?
I know, but do you know what? I'm not going to lie. Let me say something, right? You know, a lot of people be thinking about, like, when is Pep going to get bored? When is he... Don't you want Pep to be not forced to leave, but you see how Jose, people kind of say he got him out of there. I wouldn't say he got him out of there, but Pep didn't leave like on the high. He left, I can't motivate the guys. Real Madrid won the league and it was like he's out of the league. Cool. I don't know. I'm not saying, okay, obviously everyone's going to still want to win their trophies. But if Pep left the Premier League, let's say, and City didn't win it the next season and another team win it, don't you kind of think it's like, yeah, you're winning it because the big dog's gone.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, you're winning because you know what I'm saying? It's like winning a belt because somebody failed a drug test or something. And it's like, yeah, it's vacant, but like, you know what I mean? No matter what Conor does, you ain't getting Khabib no more, brother.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I know you want Khabib.
Yes.
No matter what, you ain't getting him.
Hey.
That's how I kind of feel like, you know what I mean? Pep leave,
And
a
you
team
say-
go win it. It's like,
Yeah, and you say like, what does he do next? I think that's the madness and the sickness of Pep that I've come to appreciate.
He'll find something else.
He finds a new way to motivate, and that's for me is going to be like, all right, you've done the treble now, not with the Barca and Messi, and this is your team. This is now you've actually gone and made this your team twice over. Now, how can you take this up? This is what I want to see, but the method behind Pep's madness. And as you said, I'm sorry, someone has to come and snatch that crown off him before he leaves. Like, there is no way we can... If Pep goes on now, stays here for another 3 years, and he continues to win every title, and we've had all of these... Because every year we sit here and say, we got all the best managers in the world in our league. And every single one of them's come here and gotten schooled. Hey, listen.
But
I love
speaking-
this
you're
comment
speaking-
actually.
you're speaking
Sorry,
to
just
another-
to
go on.
quickly. The Miles in the comment says, well, like when Hakeem won his 2 rings without Michael Jordan. That is how it is. Now Hakeem got a legend, but everyone will always put asterisk on. Yeah, Hakeem was the one that swept up when MJ was gone.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
the
you know what I mean?
antagonist and protagonist.
Yeah,
100%.
bro.
But you see with what you're saying, it's so true. But it just shows where the Premier League is. We're talking about one man at Man City, yeah. And we're saying that someone has to go against one man. One man is not going to be enough. You need to make sure that your club prepares, and that's why the United situation is interesting. The Arsenal situation interesting. Liverpool interesting. Chelsea interesting, because ultimately you can put whatever manager you want in the hot seat. If you've not built the foundation that's strong enough to enable your team to go toe to toe with this maniac, he's winning another 3 or 4. Look at what done to Klopp. Klopp said, "Listen, this is everything I have, and I got to 97.
I've got nothing left.
I've got nothing left. I did this with this. Please go." And he was so frazzled when they gave him the money. Man just started buying anything. Man said, I need this. It's gonna take more than just one pure manager. Oh, you know what? Maybe we get what you see. What we in the episode that comes out on Friday, we were talking about Fergie was the big dog, and these other guys looked up. Maybe we might get one of these little young cool kids that's downloaded all the Pep notes and goes, you know what? I've got an anecdote.
No, but the
You
thing
know
is,
what's the scary difference between Pep and Fergie? Man? At least with Fergie, you knew his team had cycles and he was able to rebuild new teams. But they always had like a year or 2 down where, all right, we get together. Was it 04, 05? You didn't really win much. Kind of we gathered. Then the Ronaldo next phase comes through. And it was always like that. The 92 team, you had that little gap period. It was always like that. With Pep, he doesn't need those gaps. That's the thing. Like this season was supposed to be the...
but I wouldn't
had 4 years of... No, but
I
you
wouldn't
had 4
say
years
that,
of
man. They
competing.
signed Haaland, bro. You can't say this
I know.
season was meant to be the down season.
No.
Can't
Maybe not down season, but Pep's transition into the second team, if you like, because this isn't the same team as what he walked in on. Is what I feel like.
I get what you're trying to say.
Where has he? We didn't even realize where that kind of
cycle never
transition
ended.
happened.
The
Yeah,
cycle
like
never
the
ended.
cycle never. Like normally, every team takes that one down year. He does it within the season, and we don't even. That's why I'm like, I don't know when this chokehold is going to end.
What I would
Like,
say is the only thing is I feel like this City team, it could, not saying that they're going to drop down or anything, but it could even look very different in the next two years, because Bernardo might not stay, Gundogan might not stay. You know what I mean? Gundogan's is aging. Gundogan's aging. KDB is aging. So this team could look very different. Mahrez, what's going to happen with him? He's aging. He might go. So within the next 2 years, we're probably going to see a new 6-7 players at Man City.
So let's pause there, and this is why ultimately to go back to the point I was saying, you have to time your run perfectly if you want to go up against someone. It's not just by having the right manager. What you're alluding to is, and for arguments, devil's advocate, they're going to go for their next cycle, next 2 seasons. We've always seen where Pep will be like, this player can leave,
as well.
that player can leave, and he always manages to backfill. We've always said that the decommissioning program at City is one of the best.
Yeah.
You're going to be out the door, someone else is loaded. Now, what a team like Arsenal needs to do is, we have our young core, we were nearly there. We have maybe 6 to 7 years of this young core. In 2 seasons' time, we need to be there next year, but in 2 seasons' time, when they're going for this little thing, we have to attack. You have to go for it. And that's why I'm saying that it's not just down to the manager. You have to get everything. Bro, we just sat here and we said about Guardiola, that this Guardiola built this. Should we have the honest conversation? As much as he built this, how much was it building before he even got there? This is a meticulous plan. This is not overnight
Shaun
success.
was saying last week.
Exactly.
Like, the vision was brought in from 2008, and it hasn't been an overnight thing.
Yeah, but Frank Lampard said that just the other day. Frank Lampard literally said the exact same thing Shaun said. He said that City, you can see they build for continuous success. You know what I mean? That's just the way they are as a club. So listen, it's not necessarily saying, like, a lot of people seem to think that. Now, I don't think they will have the level of dominance, because if I say they do, they will. That's disrespectful to a manager like Pep and what he's done. But let's not forget, you know, City have won a Premier League with every manager they've had since this period, obviously other than Mark Hughes. So City will win stuff, you know what I mean, regardless Pep is here or not. Will it be this dominant? I don't think they will. But City will still win stuff. So even if Pep leaves, they can go and bring in the next gaffer. They can go bring in Zidane, and next thing you know, he's winning the league again. So
they probably know their next manager. That's the scary thing about it. They probably know who comes after.
That's the way they move in it. They need to be trying to give that guy another 6 years, bro. Pep.
Yeah, keep Pep for as long as you can.
But no, it's crazy, man. I mean, fair play to them on the achievement. I know other people are probably going to be thinking, well, first and foremost, we have the elephant in the room. That is the deadest way to win a title. I'm so sorry.
What do you mean?
For the title to be just, you don't even have to play. The title's there.
Man, am I at home chilling?
Yeah, it's the worst way to.
So you love it when it's Vardy's party, but when it's City's thing, you don't want to.
No,
look at what he's comparing. He's comparing 5,000 to one Leicester.
He's bringing pre-production chat into. Second of all, you just butchered the whole comparison. Bro. I was saying that the reaction of the Leicester lot was lit. What I'm saying is, winning the title of just being, Leah's production made a great point. Pep Guardiola said 2 more. They didn't even need the 2 more.
It's all up here. That's why he's playing man games with you lot. Stay locked in.
But do you know how disappointing that is? You're thinking, yeah, I've got to give the game of my life to deliver. And it's like, okay, we'll just roll. It's basically a training session. Win, lose, draw.
They're the people I'm seeing Calvin Phillips talking about. Yeah, the gaffer called me yesterday and he said that I'm going to be starting. I'm like, testimonial. Weren't you the England starting DM from at one point? Like, you were meant to be that guy, you know what I mean? Now you're talking about the gaffer called me yesterday and told me I'm starting, like it's a flipping present or something. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, but they had his little brother's player Gomez out there. His brothers and agent. You know what I mean? He's got his brother's player Gomez out there. You know what I mean? He's got Cole Palmer. Everyone's out there. Man said Ortega. Yeah, it was vibes, man. So in a way, like, you do want it to be one, but Arsenal. Regardless, Arsenal were making it clear that Man City were going to obviously.
Didn't United do that 1 year when you lot won the title? And
I believe against Hull
was like dong and all.
I think so. Yeah. We had but we didn't hype that. You know what I mean? We had Darren Gibson. He's got a banger that day as well. I remember that was a
Darren Gibson. Wasn't Darren Gibson like your Carrick sort of like?
No. That's a Darren Gibson was our Carrick. You know,
he tried to backfield. But before we go into Arsenal, there's 2 things I want to read out here. One is like. So there's been 15 instances, where a side has won 12 consecutive games, in English top flight, not Premier League, English top flight. City have 5 of those. Yeah, just shows you that they love doing that streak.
5 of what?
12 consecutive wins or more.
Yeah, they're listen, mate. Listen, it's when it's crunch time. City rise up.
When it's championship time for them,
they close the deal.
But on the Pep Guardiola thing, where is it now? He's won 10 major honours, in charge of English club, Mm-hmm. He joins a list of Wenger, Bob Paisley.
Yeah, big Bob Paisley, man.
George Ramsey.
Man. Yeah.
Last but not least.
Wait, who?
Big Sir Alex.
Yeah.
Who did you say just for that?
What, George Ramsey?
Oh, George Ramsey.
Yeah.
Who was he the gaffer of?
George Ramsey.
Who was George Ramsey the gaffer of?
Don't know, man.
Before our times, yeah.
The one at 1930s or something.
George Ramsey.
I don't know.
Production, let us know.
Let's do
Arsenal,
Let's
I'm
do
gonna
a guess.
Do the guess.
George
Arsenal.
Ramsey, you're going Arsenal.
I'm going Arsenal.
Who you going with?
I'm going.
Don't say.
I'm going Liverpool. I don't know why. No, that can't be Liverpool. That's
I'm going
Go
Arsenal.
Paisley. I'm gonna go Everton.
Aston Villa.
Oh, it was Everton or Villa. But I was like, did Villa win that match?
They won Champions League.
Yeah, they won Champions League. Yeah.
He was born in 1855.
God damn.
Hey, yo!
God damn.
Died in 1935.
God damn.
He saw football get created.
R.I.P.
Man was
George
there day
Ramsey.
one.
He created football.
He created ball.
R.I.P. George
Hey,
Ramsey,
listen,
man.
production, let's go to some of these super chats still.
So AJ with the super chat here says, big up to Fuad. He said Pep would deliver either a Premier League or Champions League after Pep had that I'm not moving from the seat press conference, and now he's 2 games away from a treble.
They called me crazy at the time. I remember.
Read the next super chat.
Show Rahman
Definitely
says,
cussing me.
Fuad Abdullahi Ibrahim Aziz Khalil Kadani.
Hey, yo, what? Read that again.
Hold up, I got you. 1 sec. Fuad Abdullahi Ibrahim Aziz Khalil Kadani.
Hey, those are nice names. I can't lie, brother.
Save them for your children.
I like that. Yeah. Some of those getting added to the shortlist.
Fuad Abdullahi.
Yo.
Michael here says Maya was right. Gonna take more than one team at a time, challenging to beat City. Issue with Cam's point is City have the money and the back room to replace players.
Yep, that's the point, man.
Do you know what?
KDB
That's
is
the
good
point.
though.
You look at Liverpool, how long it's like taking for them to like replenish the squad. It's still not even done. Do you know what I mean? City will never really go through that period in terms of look at their squad, it's poor, it's aging, it's rubbish. No,
Unless
they're always
get
going to be
done
able
with
to.
these cases some way somehow, and they're held back for like a year, stagnant with like the same squad. That's the only way I can see something like that.
Geopolitics. That's the only way you're gonna win. You need the Gulf states to go through. Like you need the oil to dry up. Are you?
We need Qatar.
Sheikh Jassim. Sheikh Jassim.
Even real.
Reveal yourself.
Oh, no,
We got a
man.
new picture. the
I've
other
been
day.
seeing
We
AI
got-
image,
No,
the
no.
same AI image for like 9 months.
I
you
saw
know?
a video. I saw a video.
sure?
Yeah, he was spitting at the UN. He was at the UN. spitting.
Damn,
Yeah.
AI,
All I've seen is
AI is
that-
getting real creative.
That's what I'm saying. You know these deep fakes. You know how they be.
Bro, crazy.
Nah, he's
man.
real, man. He's real. He's real.
What else you got?
Articulate Thumb says, all I know is top 5 teams need to start exchanging notes, data, get some players carded next season to stop the Thanos of 4 back-to-back titles.
A man said we need coalition. You know.
I hear it.
And finally, Just Waffling says, or as a question, so which club do you think is in the best position to challenge City next year in terms of club structure and players? 'Cause I know Gary Neville was saying Liverpool.
This is a really good
That
question.
Link up. Remember the Ghetto Boys? The Ghetto Boys link up at Carnival. Do you remember that?
What's that?
By the
That's
bus, by the
That's
bus, you
what
got
we
linked
need to
up.
do, boy. Hey, don't
What's
kill
that?
me, man. No. So basically, like in like 2007 or something like that. All the Ghetto Boy Lewisham guys and the Peckham
They
boys.
linked up to go
They
carnival
linked
together.
up to go
Carnival.
Carnival. It was like 200 man.
But they
deep.
went
all
all
got
the way
stopped.
from Campbell.
The police stopped them. But they were gonna shut off Carnival.
Hey.
Bro. It was mad. Anyway, back to regular proceedings.
This is a good question. Who's going to be the best position? I think
Gary Neville said who? Liverpool, yeah.
Liverpool.
if United can get Qatar and the invoice lands at once, it doesn't land in like September, I think they could have a good chance. Because realistically, if you look at the team, the profiles in the team, your Casemiro, your Varane, these leaders, leadership's there. Quality they've shown they've had in bits and parts this season. It's just that the depth has been inept to do what they need to do,
I don't know.
and for the tactics as well.
I don't know if the takeover will happen in time for all of that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I give the caveat. If it did happen in time, let's say that takeover happened before pre-season, and the check landed whilst you're in America.
I don't think they can get it right in the window.
No, because what would only happen, I believe. Listen, I don't know the financial side. Right now, we're on the brink of like FFP stuff or whatever. Even if he was to come in and clear the debt, it only adds on, I think, another extra 100 million or something to our transfer budget.
Yeah, that's not.
And we've got a lot to do. So I wouldn't necessarily say that next season we're going to challenge. You want to be closer. Funny enough, if Man United win tomorrow, I mean, win their game in hand, they're only 9 points behind Arsenal. Who the hell would have thought that? You know what I mean? So you just hoping, if United can get a Harry Kane or whatever, maybe you can get closer to these kind of guys. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but The reason why I can hear what Gary Neville was saying with Liverpool, I would want to see what happens with Liverpool because Salah, he's going to get older. He hasn't had the greatest season. He got the numbers, but he hasn't had the greatest season. You look at them as a squad, they're going to need to do a lot. But the thing is, they've got the trust that they've got a really good manager. That's the thing. But we're talking about these teams. But Chelsea, please rise.
100%.
Are we just gonna go past Chelsea?
Chelsea have to rise, yeah.
Please rise, because Chelsea have one game a week next season.
That's true.
I've seen Chelsea go win a league with one game a week. They got one game a week. They got Pochettino, who's a proven Premier League manager that can get results in this league.
He's challenged before.
And he's going to get backed even further. Now he's picking up a talented team. He's going to get back to even further
with a fresh start and
potentially Lukaku might even come back. He just scored against Napoli. He might even be coming back. Who knows? Can he get the best out of him? So Chelsea have not that much pressure on them, in my opinion, next season. One game a week. I don't see any reason why Chelsea shouldn't be going straight back into the mix of things. Like, let's not try and just sit here and make it out like, maybe United level. Chelsea.
No, Chelsea are in it, 100%.
You know what I mean? Obviously, Arsenal are doing their thing, but Chelsea, Arsenal are already like trying their thing. So I'm not going to put them in this discussion right now. But Chelsea, from the people that need to surprise folks,
one game a week, you have to do something.
They're an outside bet, in my opinion. They're like, the little horse season is probably what will happen next year. In best case scenario, I think the team that you naturally should expect, I'm sorry, but Arsenal, you should be there next season. There should be no reason next year you're involved in a top 4 race. I don't care how well Chelsea, or I don't care how well Liverpool come back. I'm expecting next season Arsenal to be involved in that title race, and not just based off what we've seen this year, but what I've seen of the last 2 summers, Arteta being fully backed. Now you've actually gone a step further. Now I expect them to go and back him even more this summer. So for me, you're saying you're more interested in seeing how Liverpool move and Chelsea move. Bro, that's the team. I'm like, I want to see now what kind of signings you lot give Arteta to close that gap. Because last year it was, we'll take City scraps. City ain't giving you no more scraps. Now let's see where you go hunting. Now we're going to see Edu's talent ID. So this is a big summer for Arsenal.
I like the Chelsea point. I like the Chelsea point because ultimately that whole thing about if you can get in a situation where you're 11, you get a tight-knit squad and you're just playing those regular games and everything, if you get momentum, the possibilities are endless. So Chelsea should be in around that. On the Liverpool one, do you know what I find interesting? We talk about the Premier League and everything. Do you know what Liverpool have even shown in this season, which is if you're going to win a league, you need to be able to do it. And it's not just about quality, it's being able to win consistently.
They've done it this season.
They've done it again. Is it 8 wins they got? 7 wins. Yeah. They've done it again. And ultimately,
it stopped now.
It stopped because of draw, but they've shown that they can still do that, even in their worst moment. And I feel like any team that wants to compare or do anything like that, you have to be able to win consecutively. We came and I said, Arteta had his best run, and then what happened? 3 losses on the bounce. Any team that can get a nice, not just unbeaten.
No, I was going to say, wait, 3 losses?
No.
The draws. The draw.
I was like, I would have enjoyed that a little more.
They felt like losses, my bad. But any team that can get a good streak, you put yourself automatically in the conversation. And I feel like Liverpool have shown they've got ability. Can they go again? United at times have looks that they could do it, but the away game.
The away games.
If you guys fixed your away form, completely.
I mean, it's easier. It's easier said than done.
No, 100%.
Yeah, like
But your away form, you have the away form of like a bottom
4 team. Yeah, bro.
10 side.
We've lost 8 of our 18 or something.
Exactly.
Or something.
But
like
imagine
that.
you tweak that slightly. That 9 points to Arsenal changes all of a sudden.
There we go. Yeah, it's the facts, but you just don't know. Obviously, every season isn't the same.
Yeah.
And this season can play over 10 times. I still think Man United will lose those away games because we ain't got the squad for it at the moment. We don't control games away from home and stuff like that. So we do have stuff to improve on. We look at our team, for example, and there's some underlying numbers of our season, are actually quite good, like most clean sheets in the league, 40 wins under Ten Hag in 50-something games or 60 games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we could do right, but there's also a lot of things that we need to improve on as well. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think we're ready to make that jump next season. We just want to be in Champions League right now and see, but let's see, man. Anything can happen. We would have thought Arsenal were going to take it this far, So
That's a great question.
I was going to say, Mike A has a super chat to add to that. He says, United actually have the financial. We just haven't spent it wisely in the last few years. He says, Ten Hag is the first manager we have had in a while where they're buying players to fit his system. So he thinks they're up there.
I mean, I don't know, man. Is Weghorst part of Ten Hag's system?
I mean, January
It's a bit
emergency. You can't base it all on that.
Do you
Anthony
think?
Casemiro, Lisandro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, but then do you think like in his ideal world, like Ericsson would have been his like ideal signing? Yeah, in centre midfield.
I think last summer when you looked at the kind of field of play, Ericsson looked like especially off the back of that Brentford 6 months.
But weren't people saying
like one of the best?
Not a 10
first 2 months we were like, best free agent in the summer. And
I thought it was a good signing. I think would people say that Casemiro was a Ten Hag, like Ten Hag player?
maybe not a player, but an opportunity. When you see that type of opportunity, you got to take it.
In that position, you just
you have to smash it.
Let's see.
We got 2 more super chats.
Oh,
Tim
3 more.
AFC. Yeah, 3 more. Shit. Tim AFC says, fraud, Kadani. We don't forget when you said City should focus on top 4 in the 2021 season. They then went on and won the Premier League, winning 15 in a row.
Yeah, you know Fuad's you know how Fuad is.
Ah, that was my City hating days, man. That was and them days people remember. I was trying to stain Pep, and I was winning my fair share.
He needs
and
new,
then
he
I
needs
switched
new haters.
sides.
New haters, man.
Bro.
And that's the
fans
thing.
now.
Every time I get new haters, I gotta switch sides just to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
I'm saying Pep needs new haters, bro.
Not you.
Pep, no.
Yeah, because you joined now.
John, you're a Pepite.
Yeah, they're all
you're a
fans now.
Pepite.
Oh, what? Everybody likes Pep now.
No, you're a
Who
Pepite.
hates Pep? You know, not many people hate Pep.
All season I've been hearing crud about master taking over the student and son, and now Pep's the master again and the view. Fair enough.
Look at this guy trying to gatekeep Pep.
I ain't gatekeeping nothing.
This guy's gatekeeping.
We remember.
Nah,
Us Pepites remember.
Michael says, as an MUFC fan, he believes Arsenal are best positioned, gonna come back, more experience, add rice to the dish, spend right, build depth, new striker. In my opinion, gap closes.
That was a good bar.
let's
Add rice
see.
to the dish.
If
The hell I
But the rice should be on the dish and then you add like soy sauce. That's a staple. But I like your mentality. I like that. There's another one though. Right?
yeah, AM, this has nothing to do with any of this. He says, stop saying United's treble only had 79 points. Other teams were competing for that league that year. Why did they not beat us to it? Why did no one beat us in the Champions League or the FA Cup? Shut up.
Maybe they're beefing.
Shut up.
I'm not gonna lie, up until when Pep came to the league and got that 100 points, or I never really used to hear. No, it's up until when Liverpool didn't win it with 97 points. Is when point tallies started becoming such a spoken about thing. Like no one really used to talk about point tallies. Like nobody, like Chelsea for example, got 95 points in 2005. And nobody instantly said, oh, that's the best team ever because they got 95 points. Like, nobody said that. Like, nobody said, oh, they're better than the treble team because they got 95. No, that was never a thing. Arsenal got 90 points, like, in the Invincible season. Conte got 93 points. Nobody really used to kind of, like, speak about that stuff until Liverpool didn't win the league of 97. And everyone's like, the standard of the Prem has gone a different level. And now everything is points. Do you get where I'm coming from? So, it's a bit of a weird one, that, and it's in the Champions League. You just got to look at Manchester United's run to the treble in the Champions League. Everyone go and look at the teams Man United beat.
Juve in the semis.
Juve in the semis.
Without Roy Keane.
Bayern Munich, Inter, Barcelona. And go check the group. Everything about that run was insane. It was insane. So I just think, point tallies. Listen, just win the league. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I only use point tallies when I'm going at their people's logic. For example, like this team's not good, but my team's good because we're going to get them points. But hold on, that team's got more points. So that's the only time I use it. But literally, you used to just talk about winning the Premier League. No one cared about points.
I think,
you know what I mean?
With points,
but it was because of the second place. We'd never seen a second place that high.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
But then since then, there's been an obsession with points.
Yeah, I agree. But it created that kind of like, hold on. Liverpool would have won the title in 19 other seasons, and then it became everyone started basically measuring each other and being like, where we at? We could have won the league in 10 seasons.
But City won the league this season. Officially, at this point, they've won it with 85 points.
Do you know the points thing? Yeah, it just excuses all context as well.
Yeah, that's what I.
It just removes
that's what I agree.
all context. Because if we're talking about points here, all right, let's go into like the nitty gritty of games, like when this game was running the 89th minute or something. Like you can't just rely on points. It doesn't tell you like.
It's not even just that, Maze. Every season has a different context.
Yeah,
bro. Teams are better in certain seasons than in the other. No season is built the same, bro. Like I know I find it so dumb.
And for me, it goes back to like even like when you discuss like greatest of whatever, right? You always got to think about the generation they're in. So when people, for example, would say a certain name is the greatest of all time from this era because he's got, let's say, 1,000 goals or whatever, it's like, that wasn't the requirement in
Back
the
then,
previous era.
yeah.
What that guy needed to do to be the GOAT of his era was not what you need to do to be the GOAT of your era. Like, the game changes, things change. So 80 points might have been what you needed to do to win the Premier League at that point. Doesn't mean that. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like,
I've got a question though. Does the same stand for like individual awards?
Yeah, individual awards. Because what? Because a player has won Player of the Year before, does that mean you can say that as a credit? Like, oh, he's a 2-time Player of the Year winner, or he's a Player of the Year winner. But does that mean that now instantly that he had a better season than the next man? For example, Yaya Toure, 13-14. We call it the greatest Premier League midfielder season ever, right? Did he win the Player of the Year? No. Gerrard won the Player of the Year in 05-06. He was fantastic, by the way. But Yaya was better in 13-14. He didn't win the Player of the Year. So, really,
That's what
Apples and oranges, man.
That's what.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Some people
Modric has won the Ballon d'Or. Xavi and Iniesta haven't. Does that mean that Modric season is better than any season ever Xavi and Iniesta done individually?
Go and run up the likes, people. Let us know in the comments as well. Run up the likes. There's how many people in here? We need to make it fly up.
Algorithm.
But listen, man,
156 likes with 1,100 people inside.
That was such a
You lot won't see us this summer, bruv. Trust me, bruv.
Real talk. Do you know what? I need to put something out there, yo. We've all been like really, you know what? I respect both of you. I respect production as well. Because ultimately, we're actually trying not to speak about Arsenal. We're actually trying to speak complimentary of Arsenal and everything. And it's like, yeah, because we've said everything we need to say about Arsenal. But I think quickly we need to address it. We can't just scoot past the weekend and not think or whatnot. You alluded to it before. It felt like, I don't want to say they gave up. I don't like saying people gave up. I don't know you personally. I don't know what's going in your mental to give up. But they've limped to the end of the season. They have limped. They're limping away.
They've been brutalized.
Bro,
They've whimpered.
They are
getting carried in the stretcher to the end of the season.
They are crawling over the finish line. And there's a few things here. Is it, as production said, is it because they're soft at the core? Is it, potentially the manager of how he's managed this season? It's now catching up with them. Is it just being in a situation where you knew that you probably shouldn't have been there and you really wanted there and it fell apart? You're like, you know what, what's the point? And there's nothing else to play for. There's so many different aspects that I'm trying to sort of give reason to you. Like we joke around and everything, but we talk ball here. Like, I'm just trying to understand in my head. In a season where you have a midfielder that scored the most goals from outfield position with Odegaard, right?
Non-penalty goals.
Non-penalty goals.
Other than
you have that.
They don't count as a midfielder for some reason.
For some red reason. You have two. You have
Dele Alli scored the most non-penalty goals.
Yeah, I know.
And they don't
playing second striker.
Yeah. You have two youngsters that have very good seasons. You have a defender that was sent to Azkaban, comes back and is imperious, and when he goes away, the title challenge collapses. Someone that was sent away before. You have so many positives. I'm trying to think what happened. And I don't like saying players down tools. I don't know people to say that down tools, but something's clearly happened here.
I mean, at this point, obviously, we spoke about the game last week against Brighton, so there's not really much to really necessarily add on. But
Brighton are a bogey team as well. So in my head, I kind of like, but the Forest one, it's like,
yeah, I think they just checked out now, though. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They've checked out. What's there to fight for? What's there to play for at this point? Nothing. You know you're not winning the league. You've all got the comfort of we're overachievers this season. Apparently, after the Brighton game, Arteta decided to not shout at them. He decided to tell them, you've done brilliant. You've had a good season or whatever, stuff like that. And if you guys win all your games from now to the end of the season, you'll actually be the highest point team ever in Premier League history for an Arsenal team. So they told them all of that. So they got the comfort to go into the next game, and they lost. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the gods, of course, were going to tell them, you're not getting more points than the Invincibles, surely not.
Come on.
Do you know what I mean?
There's
a guard out there. There's a guard out there.
Let's not take the piss here.
You know what I mean? So I'll just say the players had they're on vacation now. You know what I mean? Arteta, Edu, all of these guys, they'll be thinking about next season. The players have done what they could this season. There's some people talking about fatigue of certain players and stuff. But yesterday, I saw him I saw Partey trying to do inverted. I was laughing my head off every single time I saw him on the
Right back.
Yeah, I saw him trying to do over.
Give me your left back.
I saw him trying to do. There was a time when Saka had the ball. Partey was just staring at him. Yeah. And Saka's like, bro, go down there, bro.
Yeah,
and he did a little inverted. Saka gave him a little chip pass. I was just like, hey, Partey's looking like
It's
a
funny though,
snowman.
because a lot of Arsenal fans seemed kind of frustrated that he was tweaking and experimenting yesterday. But I'm like, that wasn't the first game he's been tweaking and experimenting. I feel like even during those games where they kind of drew, you felt like there was some kind of tactical tweaks where he subbed on Kivior, randomly switching to a back three, keeping Bukayo Saka on, even though Jesus was the one playing the best. There were so many kind of tactical issues. I think, as you said, it's not one thing, bro. It's a multitude of things. But I think the most consistent thing is, for me, the mental aspect of it. And I think that's shown, was it February, bro? They could have potentially gone 12 points clear. It's mad to think back. That was, 3 months ago now? And now we're talking about 2 games left, basically.
They can end up 10 points behind. But if City win their next game in hand.
Crazy to even think about that. So for me, it's that mentality to drop off to that standard where you were in the lead and the ascendancy. And we always said leading the race is the hard bit. Chasing can sometimes be a little bit easier because it's like, we're not there yet. Leading that is the mentality to carry that. Last year we saw in Champions League, they didn't really quite carry that. And this isn't the first time where they've been in positions like this as well. I think, was it the 0-10-11 title? The 08-09 title? 07-08, yeah. So there were 2 title races where this has kind of happened before. And I'm like, they always think, all right, we'll learn from this. We'll come back next year. I thought they would have learned from the top 4.
But so is that a worry though? Is that a worry though? Because look, I made the tweet yesterday.
The super chat that just sent there, we're going to come back stronger next year. We're going to add all of this. It's almost like the dream scenario is for that to happen. But is it really going to happen? And I always say, improving your mentality or raising your mentals that extra level is probably the hardest part of the game. Technical, physical, all of that is probably easier to improve. The mental bit is the hardest bit. And I think especially how they're capitulating in this lot, I think could have a knock-on effect next season.
On your point, you mentioned the top 4 last season where they kind of limped and then just fell away. With all the news that's coming out, we're hearing that Xhaka's gone.
One of the
big miss.
characters.
For me, that's like, you can't replace characters like that
Tierney
easily.
as well?
Tierney's probably going.
Tierney's going to Newcastle apparently. He's got dropped yesterday.
The Xhaka one for me is like, because ultimately they have a young squad, fair enough. But we've been saying that they've got a young squad, they've not got depth, and they've not got experience. You're now losing someone that represents so much and has just been through the thick and thin of it. Your recruitment is the young players you're gonna have to buy, they have to be young players that have been doing it. Like, don't get me wrong, Casado, lovely player, done great now, not. But there's another level here. Declan Rice, now that's what I'm talking about. He's captain of the Premier League. He can come with a bit of, but they're gonna have to be really careful now because you can't switch up your team too mad because you're gonna lose. I think you lose momentum like that way. So I feel like one thing that we have to point out with Arteta is, of course, it's hard because of the situation they was in, but not rotating your squad enough killed that squad, man. How long were we saying that this Saka guy he doesn't look there? Like, how many times and then Saliba gets injured? Didn't do enough. And then you're trusting Kivior when it's all said and done. Yeah. You've got to rotate Pep. Yeah, he has a embarrassment.
He has yeah.
But he was, I think like Pep, even if Pep didn't have the embarrassment of riches, the protocol is the protocol. I'm going to do this.
And the thing is, it's hard though, isn't it? Because you look
hindsight's a beautiful
thing. You look at in Arsenal's position, right? First of all, they don't have anyone really to replace Saka in that right-sided midfielder. Obviously, winger. Obviously, Pepe left and stuff, so they don't have anyone to really play in that position. And I think, look, when you look at Man City, a lot of people look at Man City's rotation as like, this is the blueprint, this is the way to do it. But listen, not many clubs can keep a Mahrez happy on the bench. Can sign a Jack Grealish and say, hey, brother, you're gonna be on the bench for a little while. But not many teams can do that. So even going forward, I looked at Arsenal's wage bill today. Arsenal's wage bill, I think they're 6th in the league or 5th in the league with 86 million or something like that. This was on FB Ref or whatever. City have 126 million. So, or 160. I need to check. Let me confirm that actually, so I can say it correctly. But I looked at their numbers. It was nearly double. Basically, City's wage bill, right? Yeah, is 163 million. Arsenal's is 85 million. So that's how you're able to keep that level of player happy on the bench. You can pay them pay them well. And one thing is, our City are always winning. They have the respect of a GOAT manager like Pep Guardiola. But to just think that next season, for example, Saka is going to have more time to rest and stuff, it's not easy, because what level of player, Arsenal are trying to be the best now, right? What level of player are you going to sign that you're going to be able to tell him, oh, by the way, you're going to be a squad player to Saka? Not many teams can just have Mahrez, Bernardo sitting on the bench, Foden and Grealish. Just no one can. You can't just sign that easily. So people's thinking that Saka maybe next season he probably still will play max minutes, because do you know what? Next season Arsenal are going to be in higher leverage moments, higher Champions League. They want to go and win the league again. One thing that Arsenal have learned now is drop any points, you're not winning the league with Man City. So we're basically going to be saying that Arteta has to make this call of dropping Bukayo Saka, right, and playing someone pretty much completely inferior to him. It's a gamble.
It's a similar issue that we have with Harry Kane. It's almost like, especially, it's even harder when it's like one of your own homegrown products, because the fans love him that much more. You don't really want to rest him. You want to see him play every minute. But then finding someone to be literally, as you say, the backup. For the past decade, it has been, you want to be the backup? No, we get Llorente on a free, or those types of players. You're never going to get, as you say, a like for like of Saka's level, unless they're either on absorbent wages, and then the motivation kind of might not be there. But it's a difficult balance to have.
This is my rebuttal to that, though, yeah. And I'm glad that you mentioned the Harry Kane point, because ultimately, let's analyze Harry Kane and Saka's situation for their clubs, yeah. Harry Kane, where he was buddying up, cooking up, and that decision wasn't made for how long? Saka's cooking has come over a season and a half now, and there's been talks about this contract for so long. He deserves the contract. I've always said that. Great player. No, for what he represents and what he is for the club and everything, he deserves that contract. I didn't know it's 300k, but he deserves a contract. What I would say though is,
I ain't gonna
bottling twice.
In this situation, yeah. Do you know what you're supposed to do? Because of the club you want to be. How old is Saka? Someone tell me how old Saka is.
22?
Yeah, must be
21, 22.
Yeah.
We're going to sign another one as well. And let's keep going. You want to earn your bread against someone. That's how you do it. You can't wait for these players to be in this place where they're
So what you're saying is that Arsenal have to take that gamble in a sense of spending big on someone and then
the thing is, but
letting them fight it essentially out.
It doesn't always have to be big.
I know what you're saying.
And that is what big clubs do.
But a lot of the times, okay, right? The thing is, right, we
there's no easy solution to
No, I get what you're saying. Sign somebody that can compete with Saka, right? I get that. But you give somebody a new contract, yeah? You give him a new contract, you're going to want to see a return in investment, surely, right? So you better get on the field and play, mate. You know what I mean? You better get on the field, score goals, get assists. We're going to the Champions League. You're going to be our main guy in this moment. If you're going to get that contract, which is, I don't know what his money is going to be, but it sounds like it's going to be the highest paid at Arsenal, right?
What if?
Oh, wait, let me just ask you a question, though. Saka's obviously discussed in this season. He's been discussed in best in the world, best in the position kind of conversations. So, not even talking about Arsenal fans, whatever, just the general people are talking about how good he is and stuff, which I believe is a good player. But who was Salah's backup? Who was Bale's backup? Who was Hazard's backup? Who's Vinny's backup? Who's Kvara's backup? Who's Leao's backup? Who's all of these guys' backup?
Star players don't have backups.
Star players don't have backups. They get on the pitch, they do everything.
That's a good point.
And that's just the reality. I know Arsenal fans are going to want him to get rest, but it's Champions League time next season. This season, you went out I don't think you passed the 4th round, and you didn't, Europa, you didn't need to play some games, or you got a couple of minutes. Next season, Champions League, bro, you guys are playing, bro. So you want to win the Premier League, you got to win 10 in a row. Saka's playing. So this assumption that maybe he's going to get rested and less minutes, I see it still being maximum minutes next season. So the concerns about his fitness, I understand them fully, but I don't see it reducing.
A potential solution, though, I think might be...
It's the utilisation.
No, for me, might be dropping Jesus, signing an actual 9 in that role, and then Jesus and Trossard become cover between those front 3 positions. Because Jesus can play out wide right. He did that for City. And I think if you're talking like a close quality like-for-like replacement, that's kind of, I think, what you're looking for. Saka to Jesus, maybe.
That's a good one. But the other one is, when I think of top clubs, what happens? Okay, cool. We know in our minds that we are going to brush this team in 60 minutes. Sub you off. Or
I hear that.
Utilization. Domestic cups,
But let's
because,
not.
bro, how many
Arteta
times-
could have done that this season.
But
though.
this is
that's
the point I
that's-
made.
That's
This
what
is
he
the
was
point I
saying.
made.
That's
He's
originally how he started it. Yeah.
That Arteta's squad utilization, whatever level you want to call it, has not been ran. It doesn't surprise me that his key players are cooked. Bro, we're talking about a World Cup here, compressed fixture list and whatnot. It doesn't surprise me that your players are cooked, and not just physically, mentally. I didn't expect to be here. I thought we were going to get Champions League. We got Champions League now. I'm probably getting bonus. Right, everyone wants us to win the league. Right, I'm saying the top 5. Oh my gosh, we're going to get the league. That's a lot to contend with. You know?
I get it. And in Arteta's defense a little bit here, right, is obviously, okay, Saka's obviously a keeper. I get what you're saying. Maybe you can take him off in 70 minutes. I agree with that, actually. But, bro, you know everyone's saying Saka's tired and stuff. Like, bro, these guys, like, do tests all the time in training and stuff. Saka could be blowing these out the water, bro. He could be looking the most athletic, most fit player in the camp. We don't know that, bro. We don't really know. He could be Martinelli could be the one that's not not doing the. You just don't really know. We don't know these things behind the scenes. Like, let's keep it 100.
No, you just reminded me of something, because I remember start of the season. Now it's all tired. I remember start of the season. That was the narrative. Was yo, Saka looks a different strong this year. He looks like players are just bouncing off him.
Strong like bull.
He's come back with a bit of an aura this season, and it was that literally. So I hear that. It might be a thing where behind closed doors he's smashing all the things, but then on pitch it doesn't maybe show it, if that makes sense. And the tiredness is
like, bro, because let's keep it 100. These players, right? These bro, we live in an era of data, science, all this type of stuff. They tell you now if you're in what they call the red zone, right? Saka clearly has not touched the red zone because they are not really allowed to play if you touch the red zone. You get where I'm coming from? So, like, I would get it. I would get it. But I would, okay, that's true. But I would get it if he was like carrying like a physical injury, like the use of Rashford, for example, under Oli was
gross negligence,
unbelievable. Like, I don't know what was going on there.
That was being played through injury.
That was being played through injury. Yeah, but Saka's situation, I'm just saying a little bit. Like, I fully get it. He should be getting subbed earlier at times if you want to protect him from being tired. But I'm just saying, like, people saying, why is he starting this week? Why is he? We need to rest him. He might be just blowing things away in training and stuff, bro.
You said Rashford, yeah. And before we move on, yeah, and go to Super Chats. We had this conversation about Rashford where I was saying, ultimately, I've seen a lot of United fans trying to discredit Rashford because he hasn't been banging recently. And the point I made was, if I, as a footballer, do 70% of the workload here, and we get to the point of the season where there's a little bit left, and the people that you sign for 80 million, this million, can't pick up the slack, that's not on me. I'm maxed out at this point.
Yeah.
It is a team sport. This is not tennis, it's a team sport. Someone else do the work, please.
That's a good point.
The Saka situation. I have maxed out and given everything here. I'm still fit and whatnot, but it's just not clicking. Can someone else rise, please?
Martinelli rose.
Yeah, and fair play to him.
The shame is that Arsenal's results go down. So then you look at Saka and you're like, brother, rise, please.
No, but what did you just say?
Bro, I need
what did
help.
you just say? What did you just say? Say his name.
Yeah, let's be real. Big chances missed. In the crunch time, he was also, as you're saying, Saka, people are looking at him. Jesus in the crunch time last 7 games or so, where have you been, brother? And you were supposed to be, he's an experienced winner. He's been there, done it.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Guide us,
you know,
please.
I like basketball, small now, innit?
He's about to give the worst analogy.
No.
You're under pressure now.
No.
You're under pressure.
No.
Hold up.
You're under pressure.
No, when they,
You're under pressure.
I would move on.
you know, no.
You're under pressure to deliver.
No. You know, obviously they were saying that Jokic and my man ran a two-man game for the last quarter, and it delivered. It's like, let's go to what can work. Let's let these guys cook.
Nah, that ain't it.
BAL hype, bro.
You gotta let that pass, man. You gotta take that L, because if you keep fighting
And
it,
Super Chats.
African basketball league hype, bro.
Never let me. Hey, let's go Super.
Mr.
Say
Ayo.
random one. Lacazette's on like 20-something
We'll get
goals
into
in
that.
League One, by the way.
Yeah.
Mr. Ayo121 says, Tamayo, blessings to you, man. Thanks for coming to my wedding yesterday. Remember, not too much on Arsenal.
That's my family, bro.
Hey, big up.
My cousin got
And
married.
this guy, Maven, was saying, so his claim was that KDB is 3 assists from breaking the all-time assist record, or at least since assists got registered. If he does it, if he does it and he wins the treble, where does he rank amongst GOAT number 10s. But someone has come in with a fact check saying, let me read it for you right now. Maven, stop lying. KDB has 26 assists this season. All comps. The most assists record is 37 by Dusan Tadic in 2021.
But
Don't research, just lies.
Now,
But now Maven is saying. But now Maven is.
Tadic.
Mavan, he replied though. He said top 5
right, there's
leagues.
beef in the comments. I like
Now
this.
he said top 5 leagues.
Top 5 leagues. Alright.
Yeah, Eredivisie, I can't lie to you. There's heavy tax on that still.
No, but okay, but to be fair, I saw
Against Groningen and Heerenveen.
Messi's at the top with like 30.
I remember
like 30.
Xavi, I think, got 31 in 08-09.
No, because I saw.
One of his final years, wasn't it?
Oh,
I
when they
remember
won the
he was
sextuple,
golden.
he got 31.
No, but I saw
nutty
the. I
that
think
year,
I saw the
remember.
list that this guy's talking about, and it had Messi at the top, and then it had Mata second with 29 in that season where Chelsea went crazy. And I think
But this is in all competitions,
Yeah, it said
not
all-
just in the league.
Oh, he said all competitions. Yeah.
So and Xavi is definitely more than 12.
I was gonna
Oh,
say.
yo, you know, transfer market be adding penalty one
Yep.
and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Transfer market be shaky at times. I'll be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Mata is the transfer market king, bro. His stats are heavily inflated by them.
I don't know.
I don't like the way you're talking, Lias.
He's got stocks in that.
I don't like the way you're talking, Lias.
Hey, Mata is transfer market's favorite player, bro.
I don't like. Is that all of the super chats? Yeah.
Now we got a few more.
Go on,
Tubby
let's
Saber says Mays is definitely on Saka's payroll. He's just a bottler.
Bro.
Who had type Hayden?
Versus.
I like your mentality. What's his name?
Tubby Saber.
Oh yeah. I like him.
Just Wafflin says Arsenal propaganda was mad this year. All or nothing out of nowhere. Fans demanding respect before they'd won anything. Let's see about next year.
Yeah. I mean, I think to be fair to Arsenal, well, listen, humble pie, you know what I
Nibble.
mean? It's best served hot, as they say, right? But was it best served cold?
No, revenge is a dish.
Revenge
best
is
served.
a
I don't know what kind of dish
What?
is your
What?
serve. Hey, that analogy
Leave the
weren't
alg-
it?
leave the
Hey,
algorithms to
next
me.
super chat. Next super
I
chat.
got none.
I'm saved by the bell. But now, what I was gonna say is,
Forget it, man. Hey, next topic, man. Next topic. Next topic.
Brighton, European.
Humble pie is a dish served hot is crazy.
That's insane.
I might tweet that tonight.
he thought he had a bar right there.
you better tweet his analogy, bro. 2-man game. What you talking about, bro? Let me.
No.
Hold on.
I understood at least what you were trying to get.
Hold on.
You just made up a whole saying,
Hold
bro.
on. I'm gonna bring this back.
Humble pie
Bye.
is a dish
Served hot.
that's served hot.
Moving like Fuizzi, bro.
Oh wait, hold on.
At CultureCams. I'm actually going to add him in the tweet.
Bro, no, shut up, man. The thing is, humble pie, a dish best served warm. Yeah, shut up, you idiots, man.
I
You
ain't
ain't-
never heard that say.
Yes, I
Who says
came
it?
clutch.
Who says it?
Bro, it's here on the
What's
computer.
your
Look.
sauce?
Look.
What's your sauce?
Bro, come see.
Expose your sauce.
What? How should I
Ex-
take the camera or something?
Let me
Name
go,
it.
let me
Name it out loud.
No, look.
What
it's
website you on?
It's even got what? There's something on LinkedIn here. There's something on this
He's
thing
listening
here.
to LinkedIn.
No, look.
I
Look.
got it.
No, look. Even on WordPress.
Wait.
Hey,
No.
we
Start
to sweat in the game.
Wait. I typed in humble pie is a dish best served, and I left ending.
Yeah.
You know the first thing that comes up.
Cold.
And I said cold. Didn't I say cold?
said
I
that.
just-
You said hot.
Yeah,
You
and
said
that's-
hot.
VAR, because I went back and said, no, is it cold? I said, is it cold? I brought that back.
gee.
Look,
You're going to have to hold that
humble
one.
pie is a dish best served, because I was on the right thing.
No, but you
Right
just said
path.
that the one that you read said
What
hot.
do we think?
Nah,
What do we think?
This is the worst.
So warm is not cold.
What? This is what I'm saying. That term, humble pie, is a dish best served. It's a real thing.
So which one do you want? Hot, cold, warm? What?
I don't know. I don't know which one. I don't know, to be
Nah.
fair. I'm going to go with cold.
Nah,
Cold.
that ain't it, yo.
I'm gonna go with cold.
Hey, this is
It
insane.
stinks.
Alright.
Yeah, hell
That's
Yeah.
All I know is you guys, I was on the right path at least. This guy's talking about 2-man game, Joe Kitchen. Get the hell out.
listen,
Because he's
listen,
wearing a little bow top. Because you're wearing a little bow top. He's a basketball now.
Wait, why is he cooking me? Because he doesn't know analogies, bro.
No, Gav is hot. Gav ain't never got caught like this. He
Why
can't take
is
it.
he cooking me? Because man didn't know warm or cold.
what's that?
Man's deflecting, bro. Why are you sweating? Bro?
This guy said.
Man tried to deflect. Man
This guy said.
started shooting like Bruno. Man just started spamming passes.
This guy said Cam's source is University of Lagos.
Well, you
Hey.
saying too much.
Nah,
Man was under the lights. You know?
Nah.
Oh, man.
No,
Oh,
that is not a bar, man.
you know what? You know what? Listen, guys.
There's a few more just before we.
Yeah, let's go.
yeah,
let's
let's
go.
get
a few
into
more.
Dominic says, "Sorry guys, I missed the first part. United is the only team that has Juju history to trip up Pep. Rest will bottle it like the Arsenal." And Mike A with another super chat says, "Tadic was the top in Champions League assists as well.
funny.
Fuad Sheikh Mohammed, do your research."
Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
Red Sheikh Mohammed.
Wait, read the super chat again, say it.
Tadic was the top in the Champions League assists as well. Do
Yeah,
your research.
but where did the bulk of those assists come from? The Eredivisie. How many assists did he have in those
Most of
Champions
the
League?
Champions
Please tell
League
me.
is impressive.
37. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Look at him hating on his homeland.
Bro,
league.
that's
It's another one. Ajax. They'll be better than Spurs.
Bro, I love me some Ajax. I love me some Tadic, but come on, man. Let's be realistic.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Oh,
Whilst we load this up here, obviously there's not much going on in the season more. We wanted to give you guys an opportunity to let us know what you want us to speak about. So drop a few super chats, any specific questions or
Any
topics you
questions,
want us to cover. Before we go into that though, this can't be a dud. This has to be addressed now. Frank Lampard.
Hey,
You was talking before the pod.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you lead this part because you've spoken about it before.
Yeah,
he's your guy.
bro. I like him as a player,
Yeah.
but bro, I'm telling you, listen. Like realistically, and the thing is, my brother, he's a Chelsea fan as well. He messaged me just in a private chat, and he was just like, "Look,
And you're baying out what you said in the private chat.
bro, he just messaged me on WhatsApp. You know what I'm
You
saying?
said private chat.
Yeah, you know, with group chats, you're always saying PMs and stuff.
Yeah.
He messaged me, right, and he was like, "Surely Lampard can't manage any team after this," and I fully agree, bro. Because first and foremost, you got to look at his origins. He was inexperienced. He went into Derby. You know what I mean? He self-admittedly called Harry Redknapp, got him the job, whatever, got him an interview. He did his thing. Chelsea, he did all right. You know, top 4, it fell in the next season. But what he's done at Everton was abysmal. And what he's done at Chelsea so far is simply a disgrace if we're keeping it 100, right? He did not galvanize them guys at all. His team selections have been poor. There's no patterns of play. Doesn't look like anyone wants to play for him. They're just out there doing whatever, winding the season down. He literally just came there to be a sacrifice or whatever. Really, it's truly, he hasn't really done that hard graft of coaching and to become a manager. Let's keep it 100. He should either go to being somebody's number 2 or back to a backroom staff or, bro, just punditry, whatever he wants to do. But it will be ridiculous for another club at this present moment to hire Frank Lampard as their next manager. And I'm not even somebody that likes to like diss and say don't have a job or anything, but you're not good enough, you know?
For me, yeah, with the Frank Lampard situation, I hear a lot of what you're saying, and I think it just speaks to something bigger, which is you kind of have to crawl before you can then walk and then run. And I feel ultimately what he had shown initially was that he was very good with young players. Not high jeopardy, you're trying to maximize the potential of someone in a certain situation. And sometimes I think you just have to work with what's good for you. The one place we've seen him excel is young players. Not everyone is going to be a man manager in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Jody Morris has been struggling around leagues as well a little bit. John Terry is about to get relegation. His head top as assistant manager. Like, I feel like similar to sort of like when you're finding a position on the pitch, as a manager or coach, whatever, you have to find what works for you and what area works for you. And I feel ultimately the moves that he's been in, Chelsea at the time initially wasn't high jeopardy, high pressure. We just need you to operate and whatnot. When it became high pressure, it got long. Derby started off well. When it was high pressure, you know, we need to get into the playoffs. Not well. Everton, we need you to take us somewhere. When it got high pressure, it just didn't work. And that's not a reflection on his skill set. It just shows that where you need to be right now is not there. So I hope that he can, for himself, because it's clear that he wants to do the managerial stuff, find a level that works for him and grow. We constantly say, how many managers have you seen grow in a Premier League job? It is very difficult. You have to deliver today, now.
Yeah.
And we're talking, we've seen the biggest. We've seen Wenger get run out of jobs. We've seen big managers be in a position where it's like, you know what, we're not feeling it. How much of someone that's been fresh in the game? We saw Gerrard.
I'm sure he's taken too many beatings for a new manager. He's taken too many.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what
I'm
making.
whipped
Only
every
way-
week, bro.
Yeah.
Like, your reputation's in the mud, bro.
That's
Hey,
I feel like his.
And I don't think he wants to do League One.
Nah.
League One. I don't think he wants to do all that.
I think it's even a gamble at championship level trying to hire him at this point. In all honesty, I think there's no shame in just stepping away and stepping back from management and saying, you know what, this ain't for me.
Gary Neville did it.
Neville tried it, got his fingers burnt, said it ain't for me.
But
And guess
he's in
what?
too deep. He's
One
in
of the-
too deep.
Roy Keane.
No. You can say in too deep. Roy Keane tried it. He had a couple of jobs.
He got
Preston
promoted with Ipswich.
Got promoted
Sorry, with Sunderland.
With Sunderland, he went Ipswich.
I don't
as well.
wanna
But
bait
my
up too
thing
much.
is I feel like he can still save his reputation. I'm sorry, the world of punditry. All we need is you to throw a few lines out there, come and replace Gary Lineker on Match of the Day or something, and all of a sudden we're like,
100.
But Fuad, look at Gary Neville right now. He's the top pundit in the country, and he still has that 7-0 Valencia.
No one
Oh,
cares about that, man.
no,
That's
but-
weak
but-
trolling.
we-
No,
man.
there's-
Lampard has 4 of those on his resume.
No, there's
that's fine,
This
but-
is the side that I want to explain to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Henri's a failed manager.
I don't want to go.
Bro,
into,
Yeah.
yeah.
And everyone's like,
Lampard.
CBS
Yeah.
and the way Henri breaks
yeah.
down the game, he's a failed manager.
Yeah, yeah.
He
but-
failed at Monaco,
No,
did
you're
he
right.
not?
You're right. You're right. You're
Montreal
right. But this-
Montreal.
This is the point. This is the point. Ultimately, yeah. For me,
Why did you take that touch?
Should we?
Hey, son.
My son, can you? 1, 2.
He's a
But
failed manager.
What? There's another side to this as well. You see, with the Gary Neville thing, whilst great punditry and whatnot and whatever, fair play. The other side to it, especially with the Roy Keane thing, in my perspective, if I'm supposed to analyze it, and this is my people might not understand this, is if Roy Keane wanted to manage and you looked at the levels he wanted to manage at versus the money he could make from punditry and being that guy. If his heart's not really in the managing thing, of course he's going to be a pundit.
I think he
it
wants
looks,
to be the manager
it,
thing.
it looks like Frank Lampard fully wants to be a manager.
why? Is what I would question.
But maybe
Why?
that's what...
Because sometimes it's just ego. Sometimes you've seen guys like Jose and Ancelotti, and you're like, I want to feel what they felt. I want to be appreciated like they were appreciated. Bro, you're appreciated like that as a player. Let us remember you in that way. You don't have to burn yourself as a manager completely and write yourself off in my eyes.
You just made me think of a really good question, yeah.
Ain't Gerrard back with BT?
Yeah.
Joe was trying to get a job in somebody's place.
Gerard's another one. I think a year cooling period, just doing punditry. The two of them, when they were both doing punditry, I remember for a short period before they went Rangers and Derby,
yeah.
I was like, hey,
It was
these
Rio,
two-
Gerrard and Lampard
Yeah, I
in
was
the
like,
studio, so it's
this
kinda
is
lit.
Premier League elite punditry. We can listen to these man talk all day because they've seen it all, done it all, won it all. But now it's like, I'm sorry, you're not clearly good at this and you haven't found really your lane or your niche. This, I can listen to you do this all day.
Do you think that managerial careers can make, obviously not like us, make people change the way they look at players?
How do you
Their
mean?
players, a player's playing career. So
Well, that's silly. You shouldn't. You should always be able to.
of course not, but I'm saying
separate
do you
it.
think for the masses, do you think that some people look at Lampard's
Yeah, no, for
managerial
sure.
career and be
Because
like,
sometimes
bro.
it's hard with Ollie, innit?
I'll give you a prime example.
No, it's the truth.
Sean was even saying it last week. Kevin Keegan. Enjoyed watching him as a player, same nippy winger like me, but then when I met him as a manager, complete different person. So it's like
No, it's the truth. Like
one can outweigh the other. if that makes
eventually
sense.
you got to step back and when you start seeing videos of them as a player and stuff, you appreciate it. I saw a video going viral. I think the other day it was like 11 years to the day that Chelsea won the Champions League or something like that. And then Lampard did the whole, can I say something to my daughters? I told you Chelsea are the best team in the world and we just proved it. And everyone was like, I love Lampard. Why can't he just stop being our manager? I love this guy. You know what I mean? So all it takes is one little video. We'll fall in love with you again. You know what I mean? Look, when Ollie was in charge, bro, I was like, man, I hate this guy. But no, I don't hate this guy, bro. You know what I mean? I don't hate the guy, bro. Like, he was the manager of your club, innit? And not doing well.
If Cam saw him on the road, he wouldn't ask him for a picture, for sure. He ain't asking him for, 99, thank you.
I wouldn't ask him for a picture, but it don't matter.
Because all the slander.
Real one, like, I can't be, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, nah, you
can't
got
be doing all of that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
That's too funny, man. Production, is there anything that came in that is that we should quickly talk about before we do champs and duds?
In terms of super chats,
We don't usually talk about foreign leagues, but
Ooh.
look at what's going on in Germany right now, bro.
Actually,
we got a real title race
Can we
going
do
on
two?
right
Can
now.
we do two foreign scoops? Let's do Germany, then we go to Italy first.
Yeah, we
gotta
got
go
we
to
got
Spain after too.
Oh,
we got a
Spain,
real
yes.
title
France,
race.
but yeah.
We got a real title race going on, man. Dortmund just won today, so the title is
Hala-
in their hands, bro.
Hala brace.
Thomas Tuchel, Tommy Tukes. Oh, goodness sake, you're not proving people wrong, are you? Right now, you know what I'm saying?
What is that?
Like you got the sack, and he's gone to Bayern Munich and bounced them out of every competition, and now they might not even win the league. Nagelsmann was definitely leaving with one. At least. Nagelsmann was definitely leaving with one, so it's looking kind of
Nagelsmann's stock is at an all-time high.
it's looking real.
You know what
spooky for
Nagelsmann
him.
has right now? You know that Jersey effect when Jersey got sacked before the final?
Yeah.
He's got that.
He's
glow
got
about
that.
him.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, bozo.
Yeah, but big up Dortmund though, because after that game that they lost, you know, that game that I went to, the Der Klassiker, you know,
You never
when
mentioned it before.
yeah, no, I never. You know the game that I went to, you know, when I got flown. Yeah, that one, yeah.
You got
But
flown out,
after,
yeah?
come on, man, you're
Bad
flued
beat,
out, man.
bad beat.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying.
Bad
We
seat.
Man
flued out.
said flued out.
City girls, what? City girls, man. City girls things. Flued out. I got flued out. But nah,
City girls.
No.
Isn't it City boy?
Nah.
No.
Hey, being a-
Behavior.
see.
Being a City boy is
But nah,
insane.
honestly, after that game, it felt like, yeah, okay, title's over. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And for them to now be in the position that one win, they've won the league is incredible, bro. Jude
Hey,
Bellingham might leave as a...
He might
with
leave a
the
little
title.
something.
That's hard, man.
Nah, that's
People
dope.
didn't realize
So
that
wait,
Nkunku getting his lick back on Tuchel.
Yep.
People don't realize
Yeah.
that.
Hey, that
he was-
balloon celebration, though, man. I hate them type of celebration.
Yeah,
the
he
smart
can't do. He
whip.
can't do. He can't do.
Hey,
He can't do the
hey,
smart whip in the pro.
Hey,
Especially in front of you lot's fans. Bumper clock.
hey, trust me. Let me get some.
Not even that.
You're insane.
No, but
You're
yeah.
insane. Quickly to Italy. I didn't realize till today.
Wait, so hold just quickly. So what? Haaland leaves Dortmund. They go win the league.
City won the title. What the fuck are we
This
talking
guy
about?
is-
Don't do that. I'm so
Was he
sick of
holding
this
back
guy.
Dortmund?
The way he just tried to.
back-
Why did you along with him?
Funny.
This guy is funny. Oh my god. Haaland leaves.
So it takes.
Just broke the Premier League record and won the title with
Say
City.
what? Haaland's
Lewandowski leaves and Bayern lose the title.
Ooh.
You don't like that one. I know.
Oh yeah, you don't like that one, do you?
Don't hit. That one don't hit.
wait. What? Haaland's gonna deliver what Haaland couldn't.
Haaland's gonna deliver what?
Haaland's gonna deliver what Haaland couldn't.
Nah, Haaland's gonna deliver what Aguero couldn't.
So wait. Mane goes to Bayern and they don't win the league.
Hey, this is disgusting.
Wait.
We gotta stop this.
Wait. Mane left to be the main man and is getting sacked. They blame Salah.
BLM your way out of this one.
I ain't saying nothing.
Hey man,
Yo, it's crazy.
Italy. There's it's in the Champions League we got Inter Milan.
Yep.
In the Europa League we have Roma,
Yep.
and in the Conference League we
Fiorentina.
have. So there's an Italian team in each
3 finals.
of the European
Great.
final.
Jose back to back.
Yo, we need
listen,
to actually discuss.
I
that.
read something here. and
If
I tried
Jose
to,
wins
production,
Europa.
production. I need you to verify for this for me. Yeah, someone put something out which said in all of his like tenure, he's managed to get to a cup final. And I was trying to ratify, and each time someone tried to say he didn't do this year, someone said Super
What?
Cup or something.
Every
Apparently,
club.
Yeah, he's been
every
club
season.
He's gone to, he's
no,
had a
apparently it was
first
every
cup.
season.
What of his career?
That's what someone.
No.
No,
that's not
his
true.
first year at Spurs he did it.
But this is what I was
Maybe.
thinking.
Yeah.
Every club he's been to, he's got to a final.
Yeah.
But this is what I was saying because I was like, I was thinking it had to be you got to ruin it.
Nah, because even with
thinking-
us, well, 17, 18, they've
Outside
Yeah,
of the
we're
first
gonna take up-
season,
The only thing is, if it's full seasons, then I think only Spurs he hasn't reached the final.
no, because even that wasn't a full season then in that case because he came halfway.
Okay, so,
So
then, yeah, every
so
full season.
Every full season, he's
been to-
potentially win. I need to ratify it because I was trying to go through to things.
True, bro.
Wait, so every full season Jose's managed in his career, he's gone to a cup final.
Potentially
That is
remember,
elite. That
I
is
remember
elite.
on this podcast
cup
when guys
final.
were saying he was finished.
a cup final.
When guys were saying, you know, he's a dinosaur. It's
Who's
past
guys?
his
Who's
time.
guys?
You know what I'm saying? Guys were saying, oh, he shouldn't be at Spurs. That's not even his level. He shouldn't be at United. That's not his level.
Yeah, he's not. Shouldn't be at United.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be at United.
But then now back-to-back European finals. They're humming.
So
They're humming.
alright. So what's more
They're
impressive?
humming. That's
more
all I tell you.
impressive?
They know who they are.
What's more impressive? Jose winning the Europa League with Roma or Pep winning the Champions League with City?
Oh, you're gonna compare to Pep? No, don't do
Oh,
that.
no, he doesn't know. He's
Don't do
conflicted.
that.
He's conflicted
Don't
now,
do
right?
that.
He's conflicted.
Don't do
Are
that.
you gonna turn on Jose because you're a new Pep hat? Yeah.
No, keep on that.
I didn't see how fast they switch up on you, man.
Cam is
Cam
the king, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm
of
saying.
pitting two sides against each
What
other.
I'm saying.
He just said.
What is more impressive?
Out of he pulled Pep out
I'm
of his
just
arse.
asking, what's more impressive to you?
What?
Jose winning the Europa League with Roma, yeah, back-to-back finals,
Yeah.
or Pep winning Champions League with City?
Jose back-to-back European finals there with a Roma
Bro,
team.
so
That
yeah.
what? I'm very impressed with that, man. I got to give a lot of respect to that. Pep though, the Champions League, you can't discredit that either.
You
What
just
do you
did,
think?
mate. You
What
just
do you
did.
think?
no comment, mate.
Oh, bold, sitting on the fence.
I think it's
wants to discredit Jose, but then now wants
think
to
it's who?
yeah,
I
respect.
think it's Pep. I think the Champions League is just like, of course, City have the best team.
The best
He
team with
makes-
Haaland.
He has made.
It was
them the best.
expected though. That's the thing. Who expected Roma to do back-to-back European finals when Jose
One of them
came?
was the Conference
When Jose came to
League.
Roma, people were ready to say, "Oh, he's going to be fired
done.
within a year." He's done. This is why he's taking this job. But now we're doing up.
But were they saying he's
Now
done
it-
as in he can't manage in the Conference League?
They
he
were
can't
saying
manage in the
he's
Champions League? 'Cause
kaput.
anyone saying that
They
was
were no. Trust me, they were saying he can't manage young players. He can't manage in
that's
restricted
dumb,
budgets.
to be
He
fair.
can't manage small teams. He's just shown.
But people have also said
European
Pep
finals.
can't win the Champions League without Messi. Pep can't do it outside of
he's doing
Barcelona.
it.
Listen, man,
doing it.
all the
Rich,
greats.
that's rich nigga problems, man. You know what I mean? That's rich.
Oh man, the other thing I want to speak about in Italy is I need to verify what's going on, but they're saying that Juventus still may get their points deduction, and it's looking like they're trying to give them a points deduction that eliminates whatever amount of points gets them into the Champions League. So like it might be 9 today, it might be 12 tomorrow. I think that's insane.
That's mad. So, I mean, that's not fair, innit? Like
What?
at some point, what?
They're
They get
basically-
deducted, then they got given
they're-
back. And
they're
then
basically
that's
trying
They
to
only
eliminate.
got given back because it's in the process of appeal. They never got given back because they're.
Please don't cheat.
Please follow the rules.
Yeah, follow the rules.
you know,
I don't feel sorry for you.
He's an
you
Allegri
know,
fan.
who's won the most league titles? You know who's won the most league titles since 2009, other than Pep?
Conte?
It's Allegri, man. You know who this guy is, bro.
Wait. What does that prove?
I'm just saying, good manager, innit? Don't you think?
Took over Conte's work and
No,
finished
this-
it off
this
really
guy-
well.
Every manager apparently takes over Conte's work and does better than him.
Yeah.
Wait,
Inzaghi now.
Wait,
Ryan Mason, please, coach. Conte leaves, great team. Ryan Mason, please deliver.
why did
Wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait,
no.
Cam,
no, he's the
Cam,
smartest team lit.
Why are you
Cam.
running a fake quote?
He
He
Cam.
said
Right.
Conte leaves great team.
Mancini after Conte of Italy.
Look at this
Boy,
Conte dick sucker.
Stilani.
What is your
Delaney,
problem?
please,
if
coach.
anything.
No, I know, but
Keep it in your pants, please.
How did we get there? Did Allegri take over Conte's multiple title winning side? Yes or
Did
no?
he make them better?
Yes.
Did he make them better? Yes or
I
no?
asked
You
Ain't
yes or
about
no.
who did it first.
I
it's about who
asked
did
a
it right.
yes or no question. Why niggas added sauce?
know what I'm saying? Who did it better? Who did it better though?
Okay. You think Allegri's better than Conte?
Who did it
You
better?
think Allegri's better than Conte?
They're
is what you're
probably same level. Yeah, why not? Same level. Why not?
saying? Interesting.
Why not?
I don't know. You said it's your
I
opinion.
mean, why not? He's got to Champions League finals now. How many did he get to? He got to 2 Champions League finals. How did Conte do with that amazing team that Allegri is meant to pick up in the Champions League?
Group stage exit.
As I said.
Oh yeah, it's
You can
uncomfortable
finish
now.
Next man's work.
Yeah.
I can do. It's like, you know, when a man undoes and then your girl finally opens a jar and then she's trying to claim credit for.
Nah, that ain't it,
Hey, I
yo. Nah.
lose
Weak ass analogy, bro. Yeah, yeah, you won.
That didn't
One
hit.
for all of us.
Ain't it?
That ain't it.
And it's out.
Weak ass analogy, bro.
Man said open the jar.
Man said open the jar.
I said what in the cookies is going on here?
Bro.
Man said open the
said
jar.
open the
and
jar,
man shut
bro.
my laptop as well.
Open the jar. Right.
Hey.
Hey, listen, man. Let's go to champs that doesn't get out of here, man. This has been a good episode.
Oh.
Enjoy this one. Champs.
I got a champ.
Go on.
To start with. I got 2 actually. One I've actually researched one of them actually. Which is
Nice.
fantastic. First one, I'm going to give a champ to Bobby Firmino.
Oi.
110
That was
goals.
going to be one of mine.
Bobby Firmino, man. Listen. Let's keep it 100. Like, I don't even want to say underrated because everybody appreciates what he did for Liverpool, right? But we've seen other people try and replicate that kind of role. You know, Jesus, we've seen Martial and stuff. That kind of false 9 in the Premier League, he made that his own. You know, we've seen Messi in that do it in other countries, but in this country, that false 9, it's the Bobby Firmino role, bro. Do you know what I mean? Anytime you're talking about, I got some 2 wingers that score goal, what do we always say now? I need someone that can be like the Firmino for the Mane and the Salah.
Yeah.
He's made that his role. And listen, the guy was good to watch on the ball. He was technical. Them no-look moments, them silly moments. He had iconic celebrations, the fly kick, the this. Bobby
And when he
Firmino,
did this
man, he
one-
was, and listen, he
this one.
you know what I mean? And even you think about what people are talking about, you know, we talk about Bundesliga attacks. He came from the Bundesliga. He's
As
been
a
there with
midfielder.
Klopp,
Yeah,
came as a
Hoffenheim.
midfielder, and he's had a massive impact, man. So big him up.
And I almost feel like he represents the feel-good factor of what that Klopp era was like. Like, the whole selflessness of him, even as you said, the celebrations and things like that.
He scored big goals as
came
well.
from him, yeah.
Firmino scored big goals.
I think even this season, he's got like 10 goals, 4 assists, and 10 starts. Yeah. So even this season, he's been chipping in with some important goals off the bench. But he, for me, literally represents the vibe and good energy. Mane and Salah were like the killers, but he was Liverpool. I'm gonna bring the good feeling.
Yeah. And you
got
to think about
that about him.
And his influence isn't even just that. I mean, he influenced everyone to go and get new teeth.
Hey, facts. Klopp.
Do you know what I mean?
Salah, Mane, Thiago, Fabinho, everyone.
Listen, Rant said it one time. Like, listen, I thought Enzo was going to Liverpool because of his teeth. Do you know what I mean? But I guess he won. You know what I'm saying? Garnacho, teeth. Hey, Firmino, you set pace, man. You're the guy.
That's a good one. Still, you got one, bro?
For me, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
I have to say, I think after being away for 20 odd years, I think this season for me as well, the thing I take the most of it is sticking with your manager has won this season in the sense of how well West Ham have now recovered, gone to a final, safety secured, and then Nottingham Forest as well staying up after backing their manager in a moment when everyone was saying they should have sacked him. I think the way their home record has been incredible. Awoniyi, the way he stepped up.
Hey.
Morgan Gibbs White. Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
Dog.
You're spitting.
There's Brennan Johnson this season. I feel like a lot of their players who people were like, they've just bought a mishmash of squad, and it was like, yeah, that's going to be a hard job to fit together, and they've actually done it. And their home form is a big part of that. That home crowd. We was used to talk about like Burnley and Stoke, and there was always like one of those stadiums that made that mad raucous atmosphere. And I feel like this season they've been that.
See, that's what I said. People laughed at me when I said Stevie Coops.
Yeah.
Potential Spurs manager.
Shut up. That's where we laughed at you. Stupid.
Hey, remember when you laughed at Eddie
Nottingham
Howe?
Forest
Remember when you laughed at me with Eddie Howe?
Hey, listen.
Be careful. Be
shut
careful.
Up. You
be
shut
careful.
up your mouth. Yeah?
Be careful.
You shut up your mouth.
Brother. No, on that, I want to shout out Morgan Gibbs White because that fee was a big fee. And like, ultimately, he's had like not rough patches in his career, but after that injury, like anyone that watched him at youth level knew that this guy was a player. After that injury, it was like, raw, where can it go?
Who's that? Morgan Gibbs. Oh yeah, definitely.
But the fact that he's been able, you could say that he's reached the worth of his signing to that team.
100%.
And that's all you want to do as a footballer.
Yeah.
Like hold tight him. I have to give a shout out to Brighton, Europe for the first time.
Hey.
Insane. They went about it the right way. And like I was looking at this whole tight Wonder Kids, that's our dog still. But if you think about it,
Big up.
Ferguson is probably rookie of the year.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Him.
Casado 18.
Yeah.
And Cisso's come in 19, doing wonders. Casado 21, balling. I don't know how to pronounce my man's name. You know the Facundo, the Argentinian.
Yeah.
Production help me out.
Facundo Buonanotte.
There we go. He's coming. He's 18. Like they've done it with sprinkling young players here and there. Like they've actually gone about it the right way.
There's another one I saw recently
What, in their team?
as well. There's a 17.
Don't forget Levi Colwill.
Levi Colwill on loan. Like they've done well, man. They've done it with obviously Arsenal's situation is different. They're doing there. We're praising Arsenal for having a young squad. Gotta talk about Brighton, man.
Yeah, that's true. I got one. His name is Isiaga Silla.
Oh, yeah.
So immense love and respect goes out to Montpellier fullback Isiaga Silla, who learned that his mother had passed away before today's Ligue 1 match with Nantes, but chose to play regardless. May she rest in peace.
Dog.
Bro, are you mad? I don't even know what the end result was. I don't care.
He broke down on the pitch.
Yeah, I saw him. That
times.
guy is a bro. He's a G, bro. He is a G. That is the champ of the week. Your mother died, and you just said, you know what? I'm still gonna play. I can't even listen. I can't imagine the pain.
I just hope he's
of losing
okay,
a
man.
parent.
I just hope he's
So
okay.
to be on the pitch and still play, amazing, bro.
I gotta check
Amazing.
myself.
Gone.
Lacazette has the most.
Speak on it.
Lacazette has 31 goals this season.
Speak
in all
on it.
competitions, and in 2023, he's the top scorer amongst Europe's top 5 leagues with 16 goals. Now I get it, Ligue 1 is not the most.
Ligue 1 has to get
prestigious
done for that.
But at the same time, he does, because the way Arsenal fans spoke about him this last year, for example, in the last 2 years, he was like the what is it, the poster boy
Rightfully
for
so.
their
He's
failure. He was a poster boy
Come
for
on,
their
let's-
failure.
let's-
But he's had a good bounce back this year,
Yeah,
bro.
fair enough.
So-
He went
Well
home.
done.
He went home. did his
Done
thing.
your thing.
But I gotta give Dud to
Wait,
You're letting Lagos run up 31 goals and assists in the league.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in here.
You're now starting to
Wait,
have to start getting tax on you.
Let me jump in.
I might have to start. You know what I mean?
Let me jump in. I've got 2 things here, yeah. Because you know he scored 4 the other day, and I was like, this guy's doing his thing. The bed is. I thought to myself, hold on.
Where's Mbappe?
No. Where is Mbappe? And then I thought, hold on, rah. He's actually ruined it because Balogun got 20 here. It's like, fam, how am I supposed to like?
Yeah,
He's looking a bit.
Yeah.
You guys literally Arsenal said this summer. Yeah, you guys can go.
He's looking.
And they're 20 and 30 in that league.
That's crazy.
Come on.
And then Jesus is doing this in
on.
defensive midfield.
Come on.
They didn't like Lacazette posting up and hold up play. They like it with Jesus.
What's that thing that my man says?
HR.
Nah, what does finesse 2 times say? It's a problem.
It's cool when they do it.
It's a problem when I do it. Hey, it's the truth, man. That's
Hey,
crazy.
listen, man. No, this has been a good show,
Duds,
man.
we ain't done duds.
Oh, duds.
Oh, I got a super chat too. Articulate Thumb says champ for Xavi. Finally won the League of La Liga, and he won it decisively with worse team than Real Madrid.
Yeah,
you know what? That season
he's
is
the
so
fourth,
weird.
He's the 4th manager. He's the 4th Barca manager / player after Cruyff.
Don't you think
The other one.
that La Liga season though is weird, bro?
Who foreshadowed this, Cams?
What?
Xavi winning.
Yeah,
this
you
title.
did. You bigged them up, but can you please rise in the Champions League?
I'm just saying.
Please, because-
I didn't say nothing, but
because
I
even in
remember.
Europa-
I still got the video clip.
Yeah,
I
I
spoke
remember.
about stability, bringing you through, and winning the title.
Stability.
Good
Hey,
shout.
hey,
you feel
hey,
like
hey,
G-Lev right now,
Hey,
innit?
hey,
You're
that
feeling
was
good.
18 months ago. Shout, hey,
Hey, we weren't looking good when we ran them out of the Europa. as well, you know?
hey, they were coming for me.
Go on, then.
He Yassine, who's a Bayern fan, he goes, the board killed our season. They're the
I fully
duds.
agree.
Shocking decision making. Dud of the week.
Fully agree. It's mad. When I spoke to the Bayern fans, they were not moved, bro. I was like all saying Tuchel, like Tuchel, like yo, it's got.
Nagelsmann to stay.
They were like, yeah, we'll see, but we don't know why he was even sacked. And I was like, fair enough, bro. That man knew, and look,
Well, that's some underproved right.
happened,
Still,
but, yeah,
what
I
other
mean-
duds have we got?
that's true. Somebody said Madrid.
Well-
Somebody said Madrid. That's true, man.
The
Getting waxed like that ain't
There's one
ain't
that's
ideal,
currently going on right now that you guys aren't aware of. It's the Valencia fans. Again, racially abusing Vinicius. Vinicius was put in a headlock by one of their players, retaliated, got a red card.
Oh my god.
And it's La Liga is just duddery after duddery after duddery.
Bro, that league is listen. That league's already losing its viewership. It's already losing all that type of shit. Like the handling of this situation is crazy. And the worst thing is, every single time you speak about it, people say stuff like, "But why does he have to provoke? Why does he?" Listen,
The fact that
if you have to bring up why does somebody have to provoke, and you think that racial abuse is the answer to it, you're crazy. You're part of the problem. You know, I see it on the internet. People saying, "But he provoked." You can't. I don't care if you provoke. You say "fuck off," you prick. Don't say whatever you want to say, monkey, whatever they say. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. And look, the longer they go on there, look, La Liga lost Neymar, they lost Messi, they lost Ronaldo. People started tapping out of that league, right? You don't want to lose Vinny. You don't want to lose Vinny, bro.
Yo,
that's
yo,
a
yo,
rising
star
star.
boy, bruv.
You don't want to lose him, so they better get handled that
You know what?
properly.
These European
Madrid
leagues,
actually.
I said Madrid.
I'm gonna give them.
I said
Oh
Madrid,
yeah, you
yeah.
said Madrid. All right.
Nah,
cool,
these
yeah.
European leagues are last year. I remember when Lukaku got that red card recently after he took the penalty and did shush, and they said he was provoking. What the hell?
I remember that.
Yo,
Yeah.
racially abused
That was
them.
against Juve, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's like it's just those European leagues are disgusting, man.
It's mad, bro. It's mad.
Your Lakers.
They're not my Lakers. I'm not a Lakers fan. They said me. Why do you say me?
And he was riding for LeBron.
Of
too,
course, man. Of course.
But now they're silent when they're 3-0 down
Yeah,
in the
I'm
series.
not a Laker,
Normally
man.
that ain't giving duds to random NBA players. Dylan Brooks and
Yeah, I'm
give LeBron his dud, blood.
a dud. Why is he a dud?
Why your team 3-0 down, big man?
That's first of all, that's not my
I
team.
thought you was good in the West.
And listen, he got Jar out of here.
I know. But now you're supposed to be good in the West, right?
First seed are playing the 7th seed. I'm not even surprised, bro. Look, if anyone watches the NBA, you could see that Lakers, well, they were struggling to make the playoffs, bro. I was surprised they beat Memphis. Then I was super surprised they beat the Golden State. Nuggets is just a step too far. Sorry, lads. You know what I mean?
Joker.
Go and get a third star.
Joker.
Go and get a
Them
third star.
chubby
Celtics
Europeans,
please,
boy.
Celtics, yeah, that's the truth.
Eighth
They're getting
seed.
their ass whooped too. You know what I mean?
Hype, man. I've never bought into that, man. People be buying into
Tatum.
that. Jalen Brown and Tatum. Oh, duo, they're cute. Allow it, man. They're dead.
How much basketball do you even watch? The hate.
Bro, shut up, man. I watch enough, bro.
Why are you so aggressive?
Nah, because these Americans come over here and think they're still NBA fans. These Raptors,
he don't watch-
they ain't even
he don't
Canadians,
watch
bro.
basketball.
They don't even watch NBA, man.
I don't.
That's it.
They gatekeep football from me. They
Yeah,
gatekeep
we
You don't
can't
watch
keep it
basketball.
everything.
I can't get shit.
I said, go watch NFL.
These
Bro.
Canadians, man.
Hey, listen,
in Canada, in Canada, the only sport where the only sport they lit at
Ice
is hockey, right?
Ice hockey, that's it.
What's that guy's name? Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Yeah, go watch that, man.
Why?
I'm saying.
PK
why-
Saban or
what are you
something.
all
I
about,
don't know.
Hey, bro.
I mean, go back to your country. All right. You know.
Get out of here.
that sling your hook. Fuck off.
Like,
Listen, like, share, subscribe. We'll be back next week.
season almost done.
Season's
Is next
almost
week the
done.
last episode of the
No,
season,
so
isn't it?
we've
I'll be
no,
on
no,
holiday.
Yeah, you're going on. You've got like family and
Yeah.
leave that you're going on. But next week we are going to be doing a grading episode, right?
Yeah.
So
Send in everything you need
send
us
in
to grade.
all of your data.
No, send us what you guys want us to grade, and we're gonna talk about the best moments of the season, the worst moments. We're gonna talk about grade the team
Each team.
seasons. We're gonna talk about player of the year, young player of the year, all of that. So
Make
guys,
sure you
send
send it
in
in.
what you guys want us to discuss. We'll curate it, and it we'll run through it.
And then eventually we will do an award show as well, but we'll let you know what the awards are and everything and the voting process for that as well. But until that time,
Hold up. Someone said in the group in the chat, 3-0 down hype. Why are you saying they're down 3-0, bro?
Are they not down 3-0?
They're down 3-0, bro. Use the
Shut up,
correct-
man.
use the correct-
You Americans.
use the correct
Look at
words,
this China.
bro.
Oh,
By the
now.
way, guess who
Brazy.
created
This is the
basketball?
guy who's
Guess who created basketball?
a Canadian dude.
Canadian. Hey.
Look at us.
Oh, it's
We're
a Canadian.
Canucks.
It's a Canadian.
Why do you guys
Yo,
suck?
gas this guy.
Yo, Canucks. Go Canada. Let's go get some maple leaf.
We're down a Canadian-made basketball, yeah,
That's what we do, man.
bro.
Listen to this guy. Some random dude just said it in the chat and he's just reading it out. Look at this bozo. You're listening to this guy.
what they do?
I end the show, man.
It was Canadian. It was a Canadian.
Yeah, you sure? Yeah.
Yeah, for
Stephen Naismith.
But they'll tell you it was Bill Russell, bro. They'll tell you it was Bill Russell who
Hey, you know what? Let me fact check just before we
Chris,
cut off.
I
Who
guess-
Hey, listen,
invented
like,
basketball?
share, subscribe. We'll
Stephen
be back
Naismith,
next
you know.
week.
James Naismith.
And before we
Sounds
go,
Scottish. You
go
sure
and
he's
check
Canadian?
out the Shaun Wright-Phillips interview now. Run
James
up the
Naismith.
likes, run up the comments. We're out
Liar.
in a
False
bit.
fake news, bro.
Liar.
In a bit.
Fake news. Go watch that episode. Yeah.
We'll be back soon.
Hey.
Time.